Willie Nelson has never hidden from the truth that waits for everyone. He talks about death the way most people talk about weather, calmly, without fear, without drama. Over the years, nearly everyone who once walked beside him has slipped away. His sister and musical anchor Bobby Nelson passed in 2022. His longtime drummer and road brother Paul English left in 2020. In 2024, his close friend and fellow outlaw Chris Christopherson was gone too. Merle, Waylon, Johnny Cash, all voices that once defined an era, now live only in memory. Willie remains, the last outlaw still rolling down the highway. He still smiles on stage, still sings familiar songs, but behind that smile is awareness. He knows he's reached the final chapters, yet instead of slowing down, he keeps moving, because motion has always been his way of honoring the ones he's lost. A philosophy shaped by time. At an age when most people have long retreated from public life, Willie Nelson remains remarkably at peace with the idea of endings. He jokes about death, not to mock it, but to make it less frightening. To him, life is not something that suddenly stops, but something that changes form. He speaks openly about reincarnation, about the idea that nothing truly ends. It simply moves forward differently. Willie has said he doesn't worry about dying, not because he feels invincible, but because worry never added a single good day to anyone's life. Still, if you listen closely, you can hear the quiet honesty beneath the humor. He knows time is limited. He feels the weight of it. That's why he chooses laughter, music, and presence. Stopping would mean facing silence, and Willie has always believed that silence is heavier than sound, making peace through music. In 2025, Willie released his 77th studio album, Oh, What a Beautiful World. It wasn't loud or rebellious. It didn't try to prove anything. Instead, it felt gentle, reflective, almost like a conversation whispered at sunset. The album carries the sound of a man who has stopped fighting time and started walking beside it. There's no anger left in the songs, only acceptance and gratitude. Willie understands the clock is ticking, but he refuses to count the seconds. Instead, he fills them with melody, lyrics, and meaning. For him, songwriting is no longer about success or recognition. It's about breathing, about staying connected to the world. Each song feels like a small thank you note to life itself. That quiet peace is what makes the album powerful. It doesn't say goodbye, but it gently acknowledges the road narrowing ahead. Before the world knew his name. Long before he became a symbol of freedom and rebellion, Willie Nelson was just a boy from Abbott, Texas. Born in 1933 and raised by his grandparents, he grew up surrounded by gospel music, radio hymns, and simple living. His sister Bobby played piano, and young Willie would sit beside her, absorbing sound before he even understood it. His grandfather gave him a worn harmony guitar, and that instrument changed everything. Willie began writing poems and songs as a child, selling some for small amounts just to afford gas or food. When Nashville told him he didn't fit the mold, he didn't argue or beg. He walked away. Returning to Texas, he created something new, something honest. Outlaw country wasn't polished or perfect. It was raw, lived in, and real. It sounded like the lives people actually lived, and that's why it lasted. The rise of an unstoppable voice. By the 1970s, Willie Nelson wasn't just successful, he was unstoppable. Albums like Red-Headed Stranger, Stardust, and Always on My Mind didn't simply top charts. They reshaped how country music could feel. Willie became a symbol of freedom, not because he tried to be, but because he lived exactly as he wanted. Long hair, worn jeans, and a guitar named Trigger, he carried himself without apology. Fans didn't just listen to his music, they saw themselves in it. He sang about love, regret, wandering, and survival in a way that felt personal. Yet even at the height of fame, Willie never took himself too seriously. He joked about his own mistakes, laughed at his troubles, and stayed grounded. That humility kept him human, even as his legend grew larger than life. The cost of freedom. From the outside, Willie Nelson's life can look glamorous, but the road he walked was never easy. He faced financial ruin, public scrutiny, and serious battles with the IRS that nearly destroyed everything he built. He endured health scares, broken marriages, and long stretches of uncertainty. Still, through it all, Willie chose optimism. He often said laughter was his first response, not denial, but survival. Even when facing millions in debt, he found humor in the absurdity of it. That outlook didn't erase the pain, but it made it bearable. Willie understood that freedom always comes with consequences, and he accepted them without bitterness. He never blamed the world or asked for sympathy. Instead, he kept moving forward, guitar in hand, trusting that honesty would carry him through. For Willie, resilience wasn't heroic. It was simply necessary. Loss that changed everything. The deepest wounds in Willie Nelson's life didn't come from money or fame, but from loss. When his sister Bobby passed away, he described it as losing half of himself. They had shared not just a family bond, but a musical language that required no words. The death of Chris Christopherson in 2024 hit just as hard, though Willie spoke of it quietly, with no grand speeches. For him, grief didn't need decoration. Every concert now carries the feeling of a memorial. Every song feels like a letter written to people who can no longer hear it. Willie once said he doesn't fear dying, and perhaps that's because every time he sings, he feels close to those he's already lost. Music has become his bridge between worlds, a way to keep love alive even when bodies are gone. Family, legacy, and the band that remains. For most of his career, Willie surrounded himself with people who felt like family because they were. His band wasn't just hired talent, it was home. His sister on piano, close friends on drums and bass, people who understood his timing before he played a note. Now many of them are gone. Today, his sons Lucas and Micah stand beside him on stage, carrying both his sound and his spirit. They don't replace what was lost, but they ensure the music doesn't end. Sometimes, during quiet moments, Willie glances toward the space where Bobby's piano once stood. In his eyes, you can see pride mixed with longing. The band is smaller now, quieter, but the love remains unchanged. The family tradition continues, not as it was, but as it needs to be. The bitter truth and the sweet ending. Willie Nelson's story holds both bitterness and beauty, and he has never tried to separate the two. He has watched time take friends, stages, and pieces of himself. He has felt loss deeply, but the sweetness comes from endurance. He is still here, still singing, still laughing. Every scar on Trigger, every wrinkle on his face, every memory of pain has been transformed into music. Willie no longer performs for charts or fame. He performs to pass on wisdom. His songs now belong to history and to the people who find comfort in them. Someday the lights will fade and the bus will finally stop, but the music will remain, steady and eternal. The echo of a Texas boy and his guitar will keep singing about freedom, love, and the long road home.